What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, proud and ready to deliver you our Week 6 team builder here for the NPBF here on the channel. This week, we have to bounce back from that really embarrassing, pathetic loss from last week, and hopefully we won't battle at 1 o'clock in the morning again, because that was a bad decision. That was a very bad decision, and very, very bad choice. Kisaki Glaceons, don't think you're going to get lucky against me Week 16, because we are going to re-prep the hell out of this team. Like, we're not going to bring the same team twice, and we're going to beat you then. We're not going to lose our second rematch. We're always bad at rematches. I swear to God, I'm the worst at rematches. But, we are here to take on the Cleveland Typhlosions. They have been on a tear this season. They did not do all that great last season. But he's currently sitting, I believe, at 3-2. Yeah, he's currently sitting at 3-2, and he has some of the top kill leaders in the league. And his team consists of Superior, Hawlucha, Heliolisk, Lycanroc, Dusk, Mismagius, Togetic, Girafarig, Avalugg, Bibarel, and Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir, Lycanroc, Dusk, and Hawlucha are both in like the top 30, I believe, or around the top 30, top 40-ish. Of the kill leaders in the league, which, considering we have 24 coaches, all with 10 mons apiece, that's saying something. Adding in free agents and stuff, that's like top 40 out of like 200 and plus mons. That's impressive. That's very impressive. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, he has everything to be proud of here. He has played amazingly this season with the monsters he drafted. Hawlucha is an absolute threat, a monster of a mon that can literally just sweep a team if it wants to. And that's literally just if it wants to. Like, if it just decides, oh, I just want to sweep today, it's going to sweep. Plain and simple. Heliolisk is a hard-hitting mon, very big pain in the dick for me to deal with. Superior, fucking hate Superior. It's a fucking stupid mon, and I hate Superior. Because of Contrary. Contrary is just fucking strong, and I don't like it. Lycanroc Dusk, with that fresh new Z move that he has brought almost every time he's brought Lycanroc Dusk. He's brought the Splintered Storm Shards, and it does what it needs to do. It hits like a truck. Splintered Storm Shards is strong. It's a very strong mon. Lycanroc Dusk is nothing to fuck with. Mismagius, big pain in the ass. Fast Ghost. Very big pain in general to deal with. Not really too keen on facing it. Togetic, bulky Eviolite, Defogger. Not really threatening because it doesn't really have too much offensive presence, but I'm gonna still have to be careful with it regardless in case of potential status spreading and whatnot. I'll have to be very smart about how I play around it. Girafarig. Very underrated mon, but something that can definitely cause us an issue if he plays it correctly. It does have Sap Sipper, which is kind of annoying. Could be a threat to our Rhodes Raid as well if he plays it correctly, so I'm going to have to be very, very careful with that if he brings it. Avalugg, stupid levels of fat on the physical side, 0 levels of fat on the special side. It's a rapid spinner, though. It could potentially be brought to get rid of hazards. If he thinks I'm going to bring him. It is something that I'm definitely cautious about, so hopefully he doesn't do that. Hopefully we can... I do believe we can definitely handle Avalugg, but just in case, I really hope he doesn't bring it. Bibarel, it's a fresh new thing for him to have drafted. I actually don't know if I did any... Yeah, I do have something for Bibarel in a sense. Hopefully it turns out well for us, that we actually turns out properly for us, and we don't just lose outright because we didn't prep for Bibarel. We actually didn't prep for Bibarel because... Did that actually change anything I wanted to bring on this squad? Not really, actually. It doesn't change anything I wanted to bring. That's fine. Good. Alright, doesn't change anything. You just saw basically the whole team, which is fine. But, not too worried about that. It doesn't change anything that he swapped Torterra for Bibarel, and I prepped right before the doc was changed by me because I'm now a commissioner of the league. But yeah, it didn't get a chance to look it over. But I think we have everything we need to beat B-Barrel. I'm not stressing over B-Barrel's existence. That should be fine. But, watch me say that and watch me get swept by a B-Barrel. Like me saying that right now just basically guarantees I'm about to get swept by a B-Barrel. Oh, God. How embarrassing is this going to be if I get swept by a B-Barrel? Ugh. Trash. Anyways, a Mega Pinsir is obviously going to be a massive threat to deal with. I'm going to have to really be smart about how I play around that monstrosity that is Mega Pinsir. But for the most part, I think I have a really good team to beat him with. And we're going to start that team off with Assault Vested Roserade, Dahlia, our Roserade technician this week. Max special attack, enough speed, outspeed Girafarig. And then the rest a little bit going into its HP stack. Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, HP Fire, and Shadow Ball. We have the Giga Drain for the Lycanroc. We have Giga Drain for the Bibarel. It turns out it works out really well in my favor. We also have the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb will hit pretty hard on a lot of mons on his team. He doesn't really afford to get poisons on a lot of things. He actually doesn't have a switch in to this, very safe switch in that doesn't want to get poisoned. This is also for Superior. This is our switch into Superior, because if he's Life Orb, max special attack, we take a Leaf Storm plus HP Fire easily, and then Sludge Bomb just OHKOs him, which is great. And even if he's a Subseed variant, obviously Subseed can't beat Roserade at all, so that's also really nice. So we can just beat this thing out. We can beat Superior outright with Roserade. HP Fire is there for the Heliolisk / Avalugg. HP Fire does a massive chunk of damage to the Avalugg, as well as being able to hurt the Heliolisk big time because of its Dry Skin ability. So it'll be able to do a lot of damage there as well. Then we have the Shadow Ball just for the Magius, because if he brings certain sets of Miss Magius, he might be able to live some things that I don't want him to live, and that's not cool. So hopefully we can use some big damage with that. This thing's just here to sit on the field, click moves, and hurt things. That's literally its entire purpose, and it's going to hopefully do a very good job of doing that. Next up, we have one of our potential stops to a Hawlucha sweep / stops to his team in general, stops to a Pinsir sweep. And that is our Choice Banded Weavile, because number one, we are faster than his whole team. We are EV to outspeed a max speed Jolly Hawlucha, which is important because we will outspeed it before it is unburdened boosted. And that's key, because if we can just outspeed it outright before he unburden boosts, although he's been bringing Power Herb. His way to unburden boost has been Power Herb Sky Attack every single week, because he didn't bring, he doesn't have a Tapu to take advantage of any of the terrain seeds, as well as not having sorry. It's like 4:54 a.m. because I'm at work, but as well as not having really anything else that he can put on there to capitalize. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure he's going to bring the Power Up Sky Attack set again. There's really nothing else for him to do. He doesn't really have many options, but Choice Banded Weavile will blow that back with an Icicle Crash. If we can, end up in a situation where it's Weavile versus Hawlucha, we just click Icicle Crash and we kill him immediately. If he's already in sweep mode, we have Ice Shard, and that does a massive amount of damage to the Hawlucha, and we just basically stop the sweep in general. Hawlucha does not get any priority, so we'll be able to actually just straight up beat the Lucha with a Ice Shard. Ice Shard is just really, really good potential late game thing. It does massive damage to things like the Serp, the Hawlucha, the Lycanroc Dusk, the Mismagius. Like this thing, Choice Banded Ice Shard is a good cleanup. Having the Banded Ice Shard also stops a Pinsir Sweep, because Mega Pinsir will not take that kindly, and he can't just quick attack us and kill us either, because we are faster, so our Ice Shard will go off before his quick attack. We have the Low Kick, because Choice Banded Low Kick, 90% sure is a 2-hit KO on the Avalugg, as well as also being able to do a massive chunk of damage to this Bibarel now. Also doing massive damage to the Heliolisk. And other than that, we have Choice Banded Knockoff, and unless it's holding a Z-Crystal or it's Hawlucha, Knockoff is going to do a massive chunk of damage. I mean, Togetic's going to eat it, but, like, once. And, like, then it doesn't have its Eviolite anymore, and then we can just spam Icicle Crash and kill it, everything. We kill all the things with Weavile. Weavile is going to pick up some kills this week, hopefully, so he can get himself back on the kill leaders. Next up, we have Bronzedong, the Bronzong. Bronzedong is here with a Colbur Berry, running enough defense investment so that Hawlucha himself cannot 2-hit KO us, which is very important because Hawlucha is a pain. Hawlucha is something that threatens me heavily. We have Spadef investment as well to keep ourselves from being blown away by things like the Lycan, or the Heliolisk, and the potential Mismagius. Girafarig can't really touch us, and stuff like that. We also are bringing the Colbur because this thing is a good switch into the Lycanroc Dusk. If he goes for this thing, like, stops his Z move from being relevant to us at all. It also allows us to OHKO him with Gyro Ball, and with the Colbur Berry, it allows us to swallow a Crunch afterwards. Levitate keeps him from being able to hit us with a Drill Run. So for the most part, this thing basically just stops any form of momentum he could potentially get with Lycanroc Dust. Lycanroc Dust cannot touch this, and then Gyro Ball just tears through it. We can set up rocks with this thing as well, which would be really, really helpful for this game. Really hurting that Togetic, that Avalugg, if they want to try to come in and get rid of them, and just chipping away at the rest of his team. Also, be really good for Mega Pinsir as well, because Mega Pinsir is 4 times weak to rocks, and even before Mega Evolving, it is 2 times weak to rocks, which means that we can just tear through that thing really easily. And Mega Pinsir really can't do much to us outside of knockoff. So that's also very important. So this Mon is really good to wall off pretty much all of his offense besides the Heliolisk. This pretty much walls all of it besides Heliolisk and Mismagius. So that's really important to note. Speaking of walling off things like Mismagius, we have our Vermilion here. The Florges, we're being fully physically defensive because that's the only way that we can take a hit from Hawlucha. However, due to this thing just naturally being a Spadef wall, we can take a hit from Superior pretty easily. We can take hits from things like Heliolisk and Mismagius very well. We have Wish, Aromatherapy, Moonblast, and Defog. Defog because I don't want any hazards on my side of the field. If he tries to set up rocks with Lycanroc, if he tries to set up, that's literally rocks with Pinsir. Rocks Pinsir is actually potentially a thing you can do, so who knows. But I want to defog those away. Also, if he potentially tries to put up screens with something, I don't know if he has a screen setter. I think Girafarig gets screens, potentially. If he tries to set up screens, we can defog those away. Then we have the Moonblast, which will just hit as hard as we can on the Hawlucha. Again, we're able to take one hit from Hawlucha and just kill it with a Moonblast. So, like, everything on our team beats Hawlucha. Hawlucha is not getting any kills. If any, he's getting 1 kill this week. We're going to limit him as much as we can. So that's cool. But that's as simple as this set can get. Just here to be a cleric and kill Hawlucha. And hit other things with Moonblasts, obviously, which would be nice. But this thing's going to sponge a lot of hits this game, and hopefully will be as effective as I think it will be. Next up, we have our Licky Licky, Tongue Game the Licky Licky, fully physically defensive with a relaxed nature. We are rocking... Why do I have relaxed nature, but I don't have any special attacks on this set? Why am I relaxed? Great question. I'm just going to switch it to Impish. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, this actually allows us to outspeed things like Togetic, which is nice. So We have the Body Slam, Knockoff, Counter, and Wish. Wish. Just to keep ourselves healthy. So we have 2 potential Cleric and Wish Passers on the team, which is really nice. We have the Body Slam, Knockoff, and Counter. Counter is here for the Hawlucha. Hawlucha might think it'd be pretty easy to just set up on this thing, so we can just click Counter as soon as Hawlucha comes out. And we have the Chople as well to eat any fighting type move it wants to go for. So if it's Unburdened boosted already, we can just go ahead and beat it 1v1 with this. Everything in our team is designed to beat Hawlucha, but without being completely locked into just doing that. This thing can also take hits from Pinsir. If Pinsir's running close combat, we have the Chop Berry for that too. And we can just Body Slam and we can counter it and beat it. Like, if Hawlucha's already gone, we still have counter again for things like the Avalugg, things like the Barrel, things like the Pinsir. We have counter for something for the Lycanroc. We have counter for so many mons on this team. We can just beat them. We have the Knockoff to get rid of potential items, which is really, really important against his team. Then obviously we have Body Slam because he has no Ghost type besides Mismagius. If he switches to Mismagius on us, that's not a big deal. We can always just knock it off, and that's fine. We'll beat it that way. But this mon is just really, really good against his team. Eats a lot of hits. I was really hesitant to bring it initially because, you know, there's a Hawlucha right there, but Chople Berry pretty much fixes the problem. And speaking of things that are scared of Hawlucha, meet Symmetrical, the Cryogonal. Also bringing Assault Vest on this thing because its SpDef stat is stupid high. After the Assault Vest boost, it's actually technically our highest stat, sitting at like a 400 and something, which is really ridiculous. We can eat plenty of special hits with this thing. Freeze Dry is going to be really clutch against things like the Barrel, things like the Mega... Well, we're not staying in a Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir just OHKOs us. But on things like Togetic, things like the Hawlucha, if we can actually hit it with a Freeze Dry, would be hilarious. Things like the Superior, which we can eat hits from without any real issue. We have Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon is cool for hitting things like the Lycanroc if it wants to try to switch into us. And the Avalugg, Flash Cannon will blow through Avalugg really nicely. We have Knockoff if we can catch something on a switch in, which would be really cool. That'd be nice. We also have the HP Ground, so we can hit, just so we can hit Hawlucha, or not Hawlucha, Heliolisk, for some super effective damage. Pretty straightforward set, just offensive Cryogonal, just to hit things hard. Nothing too spectacular, nothing crazy. Just out here trying to kill shit. But Cryogonal is literally the most expendable member on our team because like all 5 of our other members can beat his team by themselves. Cryogonal is just here because I need a 6th member. And I just couldn't think of anything else I wanted to bring. I didn't feel like Passimian had a good matchup against a lot of things just because of his lack of speed. So many things can just beat him. I didn't really feel like bringing Dusknoir was safe. I didn't want to bring too much passive bulk. And like Shadow Sink would be nice for the Mismagius and potentially just fixing, like prioritizing and beating some things. But he also now has, especially now, he has 3 normal types that are just free switching to Dusknoir every time, and that Dusknoir can't really do a lot against. So I wasn't really too worried about that. Rotom Wash just doesn't have a good matchup with Superior sitting right there, and Heliolisk, like he can't really switch into things like Heliolisk and Superior that well. And like Lycanroc with its C move can also break through it. Hawlucha can still break through it with like HJK potentially. And like Rotom's pretty much only good for like maybe beating Togetic and maybe beating Avalugg and maybe stopping Bibarel. But besides that, pretty much everything else on the team can very easily break through Rotom. So I didn't think that was a safe bet to go with. And then lastly, didn't bring Charizard, again, just because of the speed. Like, that was one thing that I said shit about his draft initially when we first finished the draft. I was like, damn, his draft's not that great. It's just hyper offensive. Like, his only walls are Togetic and Avalugg. He's not taking hits that well. But at the same time, hyper offense seems to be a very good playstyle for him. So it has turned out to work really, really well. Like things like Serp, Hawlucha, Heliolisk, and Lycanroc, as well as Mega Pinsir, if they get going, they're really hard to stop, and they just keep rolling out and just tearing through Mons. So I felt like having Zard just wasn't really good. He has the potential to Excel Rock on Lycanroc Dusk, just tear through it. He has Mismagius, which can tear through it pretty easily. He has the Mega Pinsir, which can quick attack it and beat it if it gets low. Also, just outspeeds can go for return. Even if I have to set up a Dragon Dance, and even if I set up a Dragon Dance, if he has a Scarf on any of those, it's just GG. So it's not a big there's no way that Zard, unless he lets me set up to +2 somehow, there's no way Zard was doing anything in this match. So regardless, that is our team for this matchup. Hopefully we can pick up a W and bounce back from that embarrassing ass loss last week, and pick up a big W here against the Cleveland Typhlosions. But without further ado, let us move on. I'm going to be out of here. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I'm PokePrimer, and I'm signing off. Peace. I just showed you things that you weren't supposed to see. My bad. With that being said, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. With that being said, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace. Alrighty, guys. So as much as I hate to do this matchup post-commed, obviously we gotta do what we gotta do. We are taking on Ethan and the Cleveland Typhlosions. He has some of his Mons in the top 10 kill leaders are very close to it, Lycanroc Dusk being right on the cusp, and Mega Pinsir being up in the decently high echelons of things. So, definitely a solid threat to face off here. But he brings his Avalugg, his Lycanroc Dusk, his Hawlucha, which has been a monster all season, Superior, Mismagius, and the Mega Pinsir, as I bring the team you just saw in the team builder. So let's put this baby on slow, click that play, and we're going to obviously switch sides. So he leads with his Mismagius as I lead with my Bronzong. Not the best matchup, so I'm obviously going to have to swap into my Licky here. As he's going to go for the Shadow Ball turn 1. No reason for him to turn 1 predict, that's fine. He's going to go out into his Pinsir. I'm going to get a Wish Up. So that's good for me. He's going to go for the Storm Throw. I'm going to eat my Chople Berry, and that does no damage. And I'm going to Body Slam him, which is great. It's fine. So I'm going to get the Wish back. I'm perfectly good to go. Now he's going to go for the return here, and I'm just going to click counter. Lose nothing by doing so, and boom, he's gone. Pinsir is gone turn 4, which is amazing. Now he's going to go out into this thing. He's going to go for the Drain Punch, and Drain Punch does not kill me because I am a fully physically defensive Licky, and he is just a Hawlucha with no boosts. So I'm going to click counter again, and down goes the Hawlucha. So two of his biggest offensive threats are down by turn 5. He's going to go out into his Lycanroc because I'm going to actually switch out into my Bronzong, which is my hard check to this. He's going to go for the Excel Rock, and it does no damage. He's going to go for the Fire Fang, which does a lot. I'm really bummed he didn't go for Crunch. I really wish I could have shown off my Colbur, but the Gyro Ball is still going to be able to kill him there, and boom, that is all of his biggest offensive threats gone. Mismagius comes in here, and I'm going to be able to switch out into my Weavile. He's going to paralyze me with a Thunder Wave, which really fucking sucks. He's going to go for the Power Gem, which is not going to be able to kill me, because I'm going to be able to get off a knockoff and kill his Mismagius, which is great. So Weavile picking himself up a nice clean kill there. And he's going to go out into his Avalugg, and I'm just going to knock off this thing's leftovers. As he's going to Gyro Ball and kill my Weavile, which sucks. I kind of wanted the 6-0, but I really didn't have anything that I wanted to go into on this thing. So I'm going to go out into Roserade here, and Roserade's going to clean this game up with an HP Fire on that Avalugg. And now, once we are taking on this Superior, we are AV. He goes for the HP Fire, does no damage, and we are able to Sledge Bomb and kill the Superior. In hindsight, we probably could have preserved the 6-0 by just going into Roserade and doing the exact same series of plays we just watched. But it's whatever. Hindsight's 20/20. We absolutely decimated the Cleveland Typhlosions. It's just my team is built really well to handle an offensive squad like that. Like his bulk is almost non-existent. He just has a lot of really hard hitters. That's my only criticism of his team, is that he just doesn't have bulk. Like, he doesn't have things that necessarily want to take hits. He just has stuff that wants to hit things. That's the simplest way I can put his team in a description. Like, if we go over his team real quick, because I don't want this section of the video to just be a quick 3-minute blurb about nonsense. His team is just pure offense. Superior, offensive. Halucha, offensive. Heliolisk, offensive. Lycanroc, offensive. Mismagius, offensive. Girafarig, pretty much offensive. Bibarel, pretty much offensive. And Mega Pinsir, offensive. The only things on his team that are semi-bulky are Togetic and Avalugg. And those are easy mons to break through because of Avalugg's piss-poor special defense and Togetic's reliability on Eviolite. Once you get rid of that Eviolite on Togetic, it's so much easier to tear through. Plus, I had things like the Weavile. That literally just say, "Oh, hi, Togetic," and blow it back even with the Eviolite. As well as when it comes to the Avalugg, I have solid special attackers in Rotom Wash, Florges, Rhodes Raid. Bronzong, if I brought a special build, could have just taken it out on its own. Zard X could have taken it by literally just running Flamethrower on Zard X without even having to run like too much special attack investment. Could have easily killed it with that. Cryogonal could have done it with like a Flash Cannon or something like that. Like, for the most part, like, the only two bulky things on his team were those, and all I had to do was prep a team that can with my bulk that can handle his offensive mons, which between the Choppleberry, Licky Licky, or Fizz Def Licky Licky, and the Colbur Berry, if I remember correctly, it was Colbur Berry. See, now I have to go check. Now I have to go check right now. Because it's going to bother me if I don't. Yeah, the Colbur Berry Bronzong bring. I had the right things to beat his offense, as well as having, like, obviously the Avion Roserade to 100% beat Superior, as well as having the Florges, which is just specially bulky, that can beat things like the Mismagius and the Heliolisk if he had brought it. I can just take those on because it's got the special bulk to do so. Like, for me, this game was pretty straightforward. But I think overall, I think this was a solid game for us. I think it worked out exactly the way that I planned it to, which is perfect for me. I'm very happy that it worked out the way that I wanted it to. So yeah, good game to Ethan. Don't let this loss, like, knock you down too hard. Like, really don't. You've been playing really well this season. Hyper offense is a style that's been working for you, so, like, stick with it. Like, this is a style that, like, fits you. I'm more of a bulky pivot into offense. And stuff, so good on you, man. Keep up the good work. I'm sure you're going to continue to do well this season. You're 3-3. It's not a bad thing at all to be 3-3. That's actually really impressive. So GG to Ethan, and we're going to move on to the next ones. The schedule is actually in a bit of a flux right now. They have to fix up the schedule. Actually, now that I'm back from spring break, I'm going to try to help them fix the schedule, because there was something wrong with the divisional matchup. Something was amiss, like people didn't have the proper amount of divisional matches and whatnot. So we had to fix the schedule, but I'll let you guys know how you guys will be the first ones to see how next week is going. As for the Week 6 recap, since I was away on break, all the battles are done, obviously, as of this point, because we also had a bye week going over the course of my break, so I might try to put one together over the next few days. If not, I might just update the kill leaders. I really just don't have the time this week, because it's going to be kind of like, oh, welcome back week kind of shit. So, regardless, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace.